Hi everybody, welcome back to the Raw Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know it is a routine over here. I do it every single time, and that is to invite everyone in. Listen, if you've been hanging out with us, having a good time over there in the comments, and you still hadn't subscribed, come on, go ahead on and do it. It's so easy. All you got to do is look down in your settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in, and give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, that beast, that algorithm. I'm in there. I'm fighting, y'all. I'm fighting. Just keep giving me the thumbs up and I will end up on top. Also, I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all always do a terrific job. Y'all are the best of the best of the best, and I am so grateful because it really helps the channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, over there in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have that support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, that is easy as well. Look around, find that super thanks button. Go ahead. And if you choose to donate to the channel, just know that all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we got some super thanks. We do, and we have a new channel member. I need me a bell to ring every time we get a new channel member. I really, really do, because I get so excited. But let's do the super thanks first. And first up is my guy, Kevon Slims. Kevon is a ride or die, have been with me for quite some time now and never fails to support. Always coming through. Always in those comments with his hilarious comments. He is so funny and he is so kind and he is just a wonderful person, and I am so thankful that he is a part of this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Kevon. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Yulette came through. Yes, faithful, faithful, unwavering with her support. Yulette, she is the best. She is the quintessential reader. She is always supporting. She rides so hard for the read, and I appreciate her so very much. I am so lucky to have her. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Yulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Tiger Mommy came through. Yes, Tiger Mommy. She's everything, and she knows she is everything. And she is everything to me. She is unwavering in her support. She has rode hard for me since the beginning. She never, ever fails to come through. She is the best of the best, and I am so grateful for her. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. Annette Sweat, yes, one of the originals. Yes, Annette has been with me since the beginning, and she is unfailing and unwavering in her support for the read. She is a ride or die. Always have. I hope she always will be. She is the best of the best, and I am so grateful for her. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Annette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Heather Stroud came through. I love Heather. Heather is just everything. She is. She is no nonsense in any form or fashion. She says what she means, and she means what she says, and I love that about Heather. Heather is a ride or die, and I am absolutely so thankful to have her as a part of this community. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Heather. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And cool Cat Harlem came through. Yes, she did. Cat is the coolest, and she's the smartest, and she's the wisest. She is just everything. And I am so grateful that she is a part of this community. I love seeing Cat's comments. She is funny, but she absolutely knows exactly what is going on. She is so smart. She really is. And if you see her comments, check her out, because I promise you, you'll learn something and you'll get a chuckle. So thank you, Kat. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Donetta DeCosa came through. Yes, she did. Donetta is the sweetest, the kindest, and she is so faithful. She is always coming through. She is a ride or die. Always down with the read. And I appreciate that so very much. She is always in the comments. I'm telling you, her comments are always chef's kiss. So listen, Donetta, you are the best. So thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for writing so hard for the read. I appreciate it. And we have a new channel member. We do. Our new channel member is Arnett McCloskey. Arnett, I am so happy when I saw your name that you had become a channel member. I was so thrilled. So over the moon, it means that you saw something in me and you actually want to support this channel. It is everything. That is just such a vote of confidence to me. And I am so grateful and so thankful to have you. I am thrilled. I am so happy. And listen, you're going to be a part of the reading club. So welcome. And your official welcome will be posted over on the community page. And I want everybody to go over to the community page and welcome Arnett McCloskey to the reading club, because I am over the moon. I am just, I don't know. I'm just so happy that she decided to see something in my channel and support it. So yeah, I am thrilled. So if you get an opportunity, please go over to the community page and welcome Arnett to the reading club. All right, y'all, we're going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. All right, y'all. I want to give another quick shout out to Kevin Slims, to Eulette, to Tiger Mommy, to Annette Sweat, to Heather Shroud, to Cool Cat Harlem, and Donetta DeCosa. Yes, and a extra shout out to our new channel member, who is Arnett McCloskey. Arnett, thank you so very much. And do not forget to go over to the community page. Your official welcome to the reading club will be posted over there. And everybody, when and if you have the opportunity, go over to the community page and show Arnett some love. I am so thrilled, so happy that she is a part of the reading club. So please go over there and welcome her in. And also all of the people who decided to drop me some support today. and they did a super thanks. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, these streets are smoking hot because we got some news from Meghan today. Yes, as ever, is going to be solely owned by her. Yes, her and Netflix has parted ways, mutually parted ways. And now Meghan is the sole owner of As Ever, and I could not be more excited about it. Yes, we are closer to billionaire status. We are, because Netflix would not be getting the cut. Yes, we can go in and support our girl, and we know that it will be going to her family, those babies, yes, and not in Netflix's coffer. So I am thrilled about that, and we're going to talk about that. And this coming Monday is Commonwealth Day, and it looks like the BBC has decided not to televise it. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Now, isn't that something? Now, anybody who knows anything about the read knows that is nobody over here has any love lost for the BBC, but I think this right here was a good call. We're going to talk about that. We got some news from, the one formerly known as Prince Andrew. What's going on with him and his family? And one of my predictions that I had about one of the daughters looked like is coming true. And I think I said I was the first one who said this. And y'all know that I am definitely going to talk about that. And y'all also know that I usually have some other things, some little tidbits I throw in. And yeah, I think we got some juicy ones. So y'all lock in and just know I'm not going to keep y'all long, but I will keep you entertained. And we are going to start with this. And I saw this and I could not believe it. And this is a post from a squatty who is posting saying that Meghan is now the sole owner of As Ever, that Netflix is no longer a part of her business. I was like, you are kidding me. You are kidding me. I got so excited. And this is what this squatty posted. It says, a spokesperson for Netflix said, Megan's passion for elevating everyday moments in beautiful yet simple ways inspired the creation of As Ever brand, and we are glad to have played a role in bringing that vision to life. Now, open your ears, derangers, open your ears, ugly old hags, because this part right here is the most important part of the whole statement. It says, as it was always intended, meaning that this was the plan from the beginning, that Netflix would help her to launch. And once she gets launched, Meghan was to take over sole ownership of As Ever. I mean, why is that so hard to understand? You have to be real thick not to be able to understand that, unless you're blinded by hate and you just absolutely hang on to anything to try to help the demons that are in your stomach, because you cannot allow yourself to think that Meghan is a success. So yeah, and I say that because as usual, all of the ugly old hags, the derangers, the toadies, the flying monkeys, yes, them, all of them have come out and tried to misrepresent what is going on here. I don't think Netflix could have been any clearer, but they still want to get out here on these internet streets and just feign stupidity like they don't understand English. I know it is hard when Kitty is speaking it and trying to tie two sentences together, but I think Netflix was perfectly clear when they said, as it was always intended. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but that really sounds pretty damn clear to me. I'm just saying. They are trying to pretend like this is a bad thing when it's actually a good thing. When is it a bad thing? When you own your own stuff. I cannot tell you how many artists, how many people who have started businesses have fought tooth and nail to be the sole owner of their creation. Look at all the musical artists like Michael Jackson, like Prince, like the Beatles, who have fought and fought and fought to be able to own their music, to own their own musical catalog. Everybody wants to own their SHIT. So why is it a big deal when Meghan wants to own her own SHIT? It just doesn't make any sense. She wants to own her own brand, her own creation. I mean, it's as if they're scared that she is going to become a billionaire. But I digress. The squatty that posted this said, according to sources, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, has reportedly ended her partnership with Netflix and now retained full ownership of her company as ever official. Now tell me why that is supposed to be looked upon as bad news. These people know that this is good news, that Meghan is going to be successful. She's going to continue to be successful, and she is going to make a lot of money, and they cannot handle it. They cannot. And I just love it. I love it for them because they always are working themselves up for the letdown. Just like Harry says, they build it up, build it up, build it up, and then nothing happens. And it's nothing going to happen in this situation except Meghan becoming a billionaire. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And this was an article out of Town and Country. And I chose this one because they did the headline right. I see so many headlines saying that Netflix cut ties with as ever. I mean, it's ridiculous. But this particular headline says Meghan Markle's as ever brand cuts ties with Netflix. And for me, that is the proper wording of a article title because Meghan decided that she wanted to be sole owner of her creation, her creation. And so she left and said that she wanted to go it on her own. So if that's not her leaving Netflix to be sole owner, what is it? But I have saw so many headlines with, the other way around saying that Netflix has cut ties with as ever. And I have saw numerous of articles stating that, it's Netflix who's cutting ties with as ever. Well, if you look at Netflix statement, it is what they are saying here in Town and Country. This was always meant to be the way it was supposed to go. That once Meghan got launched and she had established herself, that she would become sole owner of her brand. And let's look back at Harry and Meghan's history, especially Meghan. Meghan always makes sure she owns her SHIT. Look at her podcast. When she left Spotify, Meghan took her podcast with her. She did. She absolutely was the owner of her podcast. She don't ever put anything out that is not going to be hers. This is a legacy of Meghan. If you look at it, If you really look at the history of her in business, Meghan always makes sure she retains ownership. She always does. So this is nothing new. And for them to be so disingenuous and fake and phony, it is annoying. And speaking of annoying, this article right here from Amanda Matter. Now, I just don't understand these so-called royal experts coming from TikTok riding the fence all the time. And what I mean by that, to me, what they do is they try to bring in not only the squatties, but the ugly old hags and the derangers as well. And to me, that is so annoying. Now, I used to like Amanda Matter. I really did. I would listen to her videos or her posts over there on TikTok, and I really enjoyed her. But it seemed as she started to get more and more popular, she started getting some TV gigs. She really started to ride the fence, and she became annoying to me because riding the fence is not the way to go. You supposed to call the balls and strikes. Now I'm a squatty and I am unapologetic about that. So I'm not going to call the balls and strikes. I am just going to be, riding hard for Harry and Meghan. But you supposed to be a legit royal expert. Okay, you supposed to be putting yourself out there as that. Why are you riding the fence? Why? Why are you not calling the balls and strikes, even when it's always in defense of Harry and Meghan, if they are in the right? If they're in the right. But I have saw her go out of her way to try to ride the fence in order to pull in everybody. But she will not be pulling in me. No, absolutely not. This right here is the end of the relationship as far as I'm concerned. Because look at this. It says Netflix cuts ties with Meghan's lifestyle brand. Okay, now that was for the derangers. Then she came back and said, but this is far from a flop. Now that is supposed to be for the squatties. Yes, the riding of the fence for me. Yes, that's what I cannot take. The riding of the fence. Always trying to play both sides of the street. And then she said, why the move reiterates as ever's position as most promising Sussex project. I cannot with her. I can't. I can't. And like I said, I don't have anything personally against Amanda. I don't. But it's the riding of the fence for me. I mean, choose a lane here, okay? And choose the lane that is telling the truth. Like what Netflix said in their statement. They said that this was always the plan. But here you are talking about Netflix has cut ties with Meghan and insinuating something negative. Why? What is your motivation? I'm just saying, it's just not a good look. And let's not get it twisted. She would not be where she is now without Harry and Meghan. She would not, because nobody's interested in that family over there. And she jumps on an article so quickly when it's about Harry and Meghan. But boy, she wait days and days and days in order to write something about Willie and Kitty and Charles and his horse. But I digress. The squatty that posted this said, when those dumb ass royals do anything, it takes Amanda days to report on it. It has been, what, 3 hours since news dropped that As Ever is now fully owned by Meghan and Amanda has a massive write-up. Allegedly, she claims it's a good thing for the brand. I am not subscribed, so I can't read it. But it's amazing what royal stories people like Amanda will write about right away and what ones she won't. She didn't do a single write-up on why William and Kate both did away day engagements which competed for headlines which even the media was perplexed by. But she rushed to churn out a story about Meghan. You know why? Because it brings in the clicks. Willie, Kitty, Charles, and his horse, nobody is checking for them, but everybody is checking for Meghan. And I just think she does Meghan such a disservice because Meghan is the reason she is where she is today. Now, she can say it's not, but we all know it is. And at least she owes Meghan honesty. She does. That's all I'm saying. But I digress, y'all. I want to put this up because this was the first thing that popped in my head when I found out that Meghan had taken on full ownership of As Ever. This squatty said, going global. Yes, 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 yes. That is what popped in my head. I cannot wait. It says, not international squatties about to get their wish. Meghan now has complete control over As Ever. Netflix first look deal still intact. Exactly. Exactly. This was my thought. And the look on Beyonce's face is the way I was looking when I read it. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Come on through, Meghan. Come on through. And this squatty posted Meghan's statement from As Ever, and it says, As Ever is grateful for Netflix partnership through launch and our first year. We have experienced meaningful and rapid growth, and As Ever is now ready to stand on its own. We have an exciting year ahead, and I can't wait to share more. Yes, Meghan is going to bring all kinds of good stuff. It is. It's going to be so exciting. I am excited. I refuse to allow these ugly old hags, these bitter skanks, these derangers, all of these old trolls and flying monkeys to rob me of this joy. This is a good thing. This is a good thing for squatties. This is a good thing for As Ever. This is a good thing for Meghan. This is a good day. And let's be happy in it. I am. Yes, yes, yes. This is a good day. And I refuse to allow anybody to rob me of my joy. Yes, you know the devil is always, always trying to rob you of your joy. They will not get my joy today because today is a good day. And the squatty that posted Meghan's statement said this, international shipping, let's go. Exciting times ahead. Congratulations, Meghan, for becoming the sole owner of your brand. Exactly. Exactly. Why in the world would you think that would be a bad thing? I mean, it is so ridiculous that these people will turn themselves inside out to try to find a negative when it comes to Meghan. They're so jealous, they're so bitter, and it is so boring. And even the Daily Mail did better than Amanda. Look at what the Daily Mail said. It says Meghan Markle splits with Netflix and will take sole control of her As Ever jam empire as she feared TV giant was too cautious with the brand. I mean, that was better than Amanda Matter. I'm not going to get on her arse anymore, but look at what this squatty wrote up under this. It says, not the UK soon to get their hands on some As Ever. British press is about to get mad. Yes, it is good times, y'all. It is good times. Meghan bought Netflix out. Don't you see? That is what happened. She bought them out and now she is the owner. And I am happy for Meghan. I am so happy for her and so proud of her. I really am. And this squatty says the tabloids are working overtime to spin a win into a loss. Fact, Hashtag as ever is parting ways with Netflix because the brand is ready to stand on its own after a massive first year. Fact, the Netflix Archwell TV deal remains fully intact. Imagine being so successful you outgrow Netflix infrastructure in 12 months. That's the Meghan effect. Stay mad. Hashtag as ever by Meghan. Exactly. Stay mad. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're going to change gears. We're going to switch gears a little bit and we're going to talk about this. Monday is Commonwealth Day, and y'all know they have this big Commonwealth ceremony, and it's televised and everything. Well, this year the BBC has decided not to televise it, and we all know why. We know why. It's because it is nothing there to see. Nothing. They do the same thing every year. They don't have any kind of imagination. Now, I am sure that it is some traditional things that you do every year, which is great. But you need to have some innovation. You need to put a little spice in it. And you need to have some roles who has some personality because Willie and Kitty is just not getting it anymore. And we can see people are just not interested. They are indifferent. And that is what Diana said is the biggest threat to that family is for people to become indifferent to it. And I think that day has arrived. Because when the BBC is not broadcasting a huge event, this is a huge event on their calendar every year. And the BBC said, nah, we'll pass on this partner. Yes. And the BBC is doing exactly that and airing some television show. Y'all, I love it. And I'm going to put this up. Kaiser wrote about it, and the title of the article is The BBC Will Not Broadcast the Windsor's Commonwealth Day Service. Laughing my A off. Yes. I just love this for them. I do. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I'm going to read a little of the article, not all of it, because we get the gist of it. They are duds. And nobody wants to watch any of their pomp and circumstance anymore because they are rotten to the core, for one, and for two, they are boring. Now, this is what Kaiser writes. She says the Windsors will mark Commonwealth Day on Monday with the traditional service at Westminster Abbey. 6 years ago, the Commonwealth Day service was the final working royal appearance for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex alongside the Windsors, and it was a tense affair which is still being discussed and analyzed to this day. Since then, various senior royals have skipped the annual service. This year, King Charles, his horse, and the Prince and Princess of Wales are all scheduled to attend the service. The problem, laughing my A off, the BBC isn't going to broadcast any of it. Tell me the left behinds are boring charisma vacuums without telling me the left behinds are boring charisma vacuums. They're charisma vacuums, outright. Because just like vacuums, they suck. They suck hard. They really do. But this is the excerpt. I'm going to read a little bit of it from The Sun and what Kaiser highlighted in this article. It says the BBC has axed its live coverage of the Commonwealth Day service and will screen an Escape to the Country episode instead. It blamed budget cuts for not screening Monday's afternoon's event from Westminster Abbey because they know they're not going to make any money off of it. Now, I am not a fan of the BBC, but I think they made the right call on this one. But the royalists, they are absolutely livid. And one of the royalists that they featured in this article is Ingrid Seward. And this is what it says. But Ingrid Seward, royal author and editor in chief of Majesty magazine. And my whole thing is, where is this Majesty magazine? I keep hearing that Ingrid is the head, what is the editor in chief of it? Where is this magazine? Did she print it in her basement? Because I never saw it, but I digress. It says Ingrid Seward, royal author and editor in chief of Majesty magazine, said it's a ridiculous and appalling decision. The BBC has been doing this for years, and it's the most important date in the diary for celebrating the Commonwealth. If even the BBC doesn't think it's worthy of coverage and celebration despite its huge cultural significance for member states and the monarchy, then the Commonwealth could fade into irrelevance with every passing year. Now, I must admit, I am ignorant to what the significance of the Commonwealth is. To me, it is still, the lingering of colonization. It is that old colonial nonsense that they are just clinging on to with all of their strength. So that's the way I look at the Commonwealth, because these are former colonies of Great Britain, right? And y'all correct me in the comments, but I don't feel any kind of pining to keep the Commonwealth together, because I don't see any benefit for these countries. I really don't, because we all know that Great Britain is known and notorious for sucking the lifeblood out of every country that it has touched in any form or fashion. So yeah, this to me is just them holding on to that old colonial mindset. So I said, let it fall by the wayside. Who cares? I mean, they didn't get this upset when the Commonwealth Games fell by the wayside. Nobody wanted to even host them. Nobody wanted any part of them. Everything that this family has done has just turned out to be a flippity flippity flop. And like I said, I don't see how being in the Commonwealth actually benefits anybody except Great Britain. And y'all can argue with me in the comments. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I just don't see it. I'm just saying. And this squatty posted about it and said apparently a couple looking for a cottage in the Scottish countryside beat out the royal family's annual Commonwealth church service. Ouch. Yeah, that is an ouchie. And I'm going to put this up. This is another article from Kaiser. Now, I'm not going to feature it, but I just found it so interesting that Willie and Kitty are out here briefing that now that it has been determined that, Beatrice and Eugenie will not be going to Ascot, and it looks like they won't be going to any other royal events anytime soon. They planted a story about that. And I really believe that maybe the York sisters are starting to become the scapegoat for Willie and Kitty, because we are getting more and more articles that Willie and Kitty didn't get along with them. Willie and Kitty didn't like them. Willie and Kitty wants to get rid of them. I mean, article after article after article. And we got this one today. It says Prince William and Kate will refuse to attend Ascot if Beatrice and Eugenie are invited. Yes, after it's already been determined that they were uninvited, here he is saying that him and Kitty will not go if Eugenie and Beatrice is there. It just makes no sense to me. It really do. To me, it's like closing the barn door and the cow is already out of the door, out in the pasture somewhere, lost in the woods. I mean, why are you closing the door now? I mean, when you could have done something about Prince Andrew, you chose not to. You chose to circle the wagons. You chose to cloak for him. You chose to protect him. And now that everything is out, you ready to slam the door shut. You don't want to have nothing to do with anybody or anything that has anything to do with him. You think he's a stain, and it goes on and on and on. And yet and still, after he had paid the money, after they had paid the money to Virginia Dufresne, you rode to church with him, you stood beside him, you chit-chatted, you planted stories saying that you'd rather stay beside him than your own brother who has done nothing but love you. I mean, what is it here that makes any kind of sense? I mean, they constantly doing stuff that doesn't make any sense. It is the classic closing the barn door after the cow has escaped. But here it is. They are refusing to go if Beatrice and Eugenie is not there, even though Charles already has made that decision. I cannot with Willie and Kitty. They are just disgusting. They really are. It's so fake and phony. I cannot stand, I cannot take fake people. I cannot. And these two right here are nothing but fake. They're phony. And this squatty was commenting on this and said how things changed. During all these years, the heir and his wife have used the presence of the York sisters as a prop for family unity against Harry and Meghan. Laugh out loud. It's amazing how this couple throws everyone under the bus to cover their dirty laundry or when they are no longer useful to them. Exactly. Exactly. They don't care for anybody except themselves. And Willie and Kitty are exactly the same. I say this with everything in me, and I say it with every opportunity that comes along, that William married the female version of himself, while Harry married the female version of himself. Kitty and Willie are exactly the same. They are different sides of the same coin, and they are all about themselves. They will use you and discard you at a drop of a hat. And that's exactly what they have done with the York sisters. And this other squatty said, I thought little Willie banned them from attending. Which is it? They have been banned, or little Willie doesn't want to go and play happy husband, so he's putting his excuse out there for the gullible subjects to feast upon. Now, I don't know. You remember last year he didn't want to go. He did not. And I think Kitty canceled at the last minute, and Charles was pissed. He was pissed. Y'all remember that? Last year, Ascot was not a happy family reunion. And Willie had to sit in the same carriage as Charles. And I'm telling you, he was sitting up there looking like he had ate onions. He was absolutely indifferent to it all. You could tell he did not want to be there. So, yeah, I don't know which it is, but I can tell you this, it is not going to be a really, really happy time for none of them. And I just love it for them. I do. All of these events that they have to attend together, and they don't even like each other. Mm, it's so delicious. And I'm going to put this up. And if y'all can remember, I think it was in a podcast two ago that I made the prediction that Beatrice's husband was going to hit the road, Jack. Yes, I felt that Eugenie's husband was more likely to stay with her, and Beatrice's husband was more likely to get up out of there. Yes, because he is a social climber. And I said that. I said he's a social climber. He's the male version of Kitty. Just like if something went down with William, Kitty would not stay with William. She would not. She would be absolutely trading on her honeypot somewhere else, trying to secure a bag with another rich man. Because it is not about love when it comes to social climbers. It's not about the love, it is about the status. And he was clearly wanting and desiring the status. But let's get into what Sky News Australia is saying. It says Princess Beatrice's husband has fled the country during her time of need, while rumors swirled that his parents were furious with the scandal surrounding Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Yes, because it was all about the status for them. And now that she doesn't have the status anymore and she is just riddled with scandal, they're ready to bail on her. That's the kind of family she married into. Now, Eugenie, that's different because at the end of the day, Eugenie is all Jack Brooks Bank has going for him. He comes from a family that doesn't have much. So, yeah, she is the best thing that ever happened to him. So, he is going to be there. But this guy that Beatrice has, he is a wealthy man. He comes from a prominent family, and they are just not having the whole taint of it all. And so I'm not surprised about this. A matter of fact, I predicted this. Yes, I was the first one who came out and predicted it. Yes, I have to give myself the props. And this squatty posted that same article and said, in my tribe, when a younger sister marries first, there is a ritual to make sure the older sister will find a good husband too. That ritual reassures the older sister and help her wait until she finds the right man. It seems that Beatrice needed that ritual to avoid any rush. Yeah, she absolutely did not see the honeypot. Yeah, she didn't see the old okey doke. She was not looking. I don't know if she was desperate, like this particular squatty is saying, and maybe she didn't sit back and wait for the right one. But yeah, he is not the right one. And I am not shocked by any of this because if you've been paying attention, you see exactly what he is about. And this squatty said he dumped his beautiful, accomplished, Harvard educated architect fiance, who is the mother of his child, for Beatrice York. Yeah, the old honeypot. Yes, the whole honeypot that they run when they are social climbers. He absolutely was a social climber. And anybody who had two brain cells to rub together could see this one coming. I'm just saying. And this squatty said, I've read that he's fled and left behind his wife and children as his family are raging over the latest scandals, the ripples of which spread far and wide. Well, all I can say is, who didn't see this one coming? Yes, he actually dropped his fiance, this very accomplished woman, to get with Beatrice, whose eyes are bugging out of her head. But yet and still, she did not see that this was all about the status and nothing about the love that he had for her because he is a social climber. His family, all of them are all about the status. And when it's like that, when you have a fall from grace, social climbers, they fall off. I'm just saying. And this other squatty said, oh my God, everyone is distancing themselves from the pedal rod. Why wouldn't they? I know I would. I'm just saying, but you will stay there if it's real love there, but not when it's a grift. I'm just saying. And this squatty said divorce incoming for both sisters in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Without the royal family perks, their husbands are gone. It was the glue. Now, like I said, I don't feel that way about Jack. But this other one, yes, yes, yes. And this squatty said, isn't he the one who got the woman on the yacht pregnant? Y'all know anything about that? Did one of these men get somebody pregnant on the yacht? Now, I know they had caught Jack on a yacht with a woman, acting a little sus. Now, but I didn't know anything about anybody getting pregnant. If y'all know anything about one of these men getting caught up like that, please put it in the comments because I hadn't heard that one. I'm just going to say I have not heard that one. And this other squatty said, Eldo no longer wants to be a part of that family. I called this a while ago. He ditched his ex-fiancée at an alarming speed when Beatrice pursued him. He was from a now defunct Italian aristo family and craved the status that he thought being married to Beatrice would bring. Has he gone back to his ex with his tail between his legs? Now, we don't know about that, but we know he was down there in Florida acting single, very single. That's the word on the curb. And that is what I reported on in that podcast some time back. And I said what I said. And it looks like it's shaking out just the way I said. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I want to put up just a few things real quick. This one right here, it says GB News has allegedly lost 131 million pounds since 2021, according to reports. It's operating on a loss, so hate doesn't sell. Yes, y'all know it has been in trouble for a while, and they were threatening to shut it down. But some billionaires are infusing money into it. Those left wing billionaires, they want to keep the hate going. So that is the reason why it's staying afloat. Not because it's making money, but because it continues to get infused with money from very rich sources. That's what I'm told. That's the word on the curb. I'm going to put this up because this popped up on my timeline. And it is from the Financial Times. And it says, breaking news, media group Axel Springer is poised to agree to a deal for the Telegraph in a move that will scupper the proposed acquisition of the UK newspaper group by the Daily Mail, said people briefed about the matter. Y'all remember the Daily Mail was set to buy the Telegraph. And now all of a sudden, they're not going to be able to do it. This new group has come in, the media group Axel Springer, and they're going to buy it. What y'all think about that? Do y'all think that has something to do with Harry and all the other claimants in that lawsuit that they have against the Daily Mail that's going on right now? It could be that they smelled a defeat and they absolutely don't want to deal with the Daily Mail because they're going to have some financial problem because Harry and those other plaintiffs are going to put a hurt on them pocketbooks over there at the Daily Mail. What y'all think? I'm thinking that's a possibility. And this squatty came up under there and said, the Telegraph has become a broadsheet UK version of the National Enquirer, filled with hate and division, infiltrated by the majority of Rupert Murdoch's former rat journalists. Yes, maybe this new media group will clean house and it actually turns into a decent newspaper. I don't even want to say again because has it ever been a decent newspaper? Maybe it'll just become a decent newspaper. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Do you think this might have something to do with the court case and they know that them pockets are about to get hurt over there at the Daily Mail? I hope so. All right, y'all. Y'all know I love to end on a positive note. And of course, I'm going to end on two things. First, this one right here, it says, Meghan's only sin was standing too straight, too tall, and refusing to shrink herself to make the heir's wife more comfortable. For the royal family and their minions, that was unforgivable. Where is the lie? And that goes to what is happening today. Meghan becoming sole owner of her business because she built it out of whole cloth. Why shouldn't she own it? Just flat out. But yeah, I love this because it's true. And one more thing, never forget, Meghan can never, ever be outdone by the Middletons. Yes, we were sold that bill of goods that Party Pieces was a successful business. And at the end, they had to pay someone to take it off their hands, and their creditors were going around Buckleberry and nailing up on side of trees this notice. Yes, about how they would not pay their bills. So until you do a thorough investigation about that, you need to mind your business when it comes to the Duchess of Sussex. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.